Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. एक मिनट.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah,
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Chapter is children electric current and its chemical effect. Revision chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think you will have your fourth periodic also. So
Yes.
most probably the chapters which are omitted from your main syllabus, terminal syllabus, those chapters will be touched here. Clear? So today I will send it on the WhatsApp.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Just mute your mic and close this music and all. Who is there? Electric current and its chemical effect. This chapter we will start. So first of all, whenever we talk about electric current or electricity, conduction word comes, isn't it? So all of you understand what is conduction?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Property
Here
Property
we
to
will
conduct
material to
electricity.
conduct electricity is known as conduction.
Property
Material which allow
electricity.
electricity to pass through it easily are known as
And the material that allow
conductors
it is known as conductor
of
of
electricity.
electricity.
here, children, we will be talking about conduction through liquids in this chapter. Clear? How the conductivity increases or how it can be enhanced by adding salt in it. So let's start through the question answer revision. First of all of you understand conductors and insulators. When we talk about conductors, then at the same time insulators are also there. So let's start this chapter. First of all, what are इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स किसको बोलते हैं, पहले इसको बताइए।
Electrolyte is a
compound that
molten or
Aqueous
aqueous
solution which
A
solution
allows
compound that
electricity
which
to
allow
is
electricity to
pass
in
pass
through it.
molten or aqueous state and which simultaneously undergo decomposition when electric current passes through it.
Okay, for your small activities are also there, which can give you or which can show you through experiment that these liquids can conduct electricity and this cannot be. So first is what is first activity which is given in your book, that is activity number 1, that is conduction through liquid. How can you prove that the liquid can conduct water, electricity? Sorry, Ananya se start kare.
Yes, ma'am. For that, we need materials like a torch bulb and a battery and connecting wires that is of copper. Then we have to take water in a beaker and connect the battery with the bulb through the wire. And we have to make sure that the bottom, the wire does not touch the bottom of the beaker. Now we have to take water and pour lime juice in it, and after switching it on we will be able to see that the LED bulb glow. That means the electricity is passing through the lime water solution, and then we have to separate separate the wire, and then we have to clean it, and we have to fill that beaker with the distilled water. After doing so, after switching the battery, we will be able to see that the bulb does not glow. Hence, conclusively, some liquids conduct electricity and
Okay, so here are some of the name of the liquids given which can conduct electricity and which cannot. Like, let us one by one. यहाँ आप देखो, tell me the names of those liquid which can conduct electricity from the page number 284. Sarah,
Yes,
which can
ma'am.
conduct electricity?
Lime juice, tap water, orange juice, vinegar, tomato juice. Yes, ma'am, that's it.
So what we are seeing, what is the similarity in this? All types of juice, they are having
These
some or the other
salts in it.
acidic character. कुछ acid है present या
Yes,
उसमें
ma'am.
salt present.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
then only it will conduct water, conduct electricity. Okay, then after that, why do acids or caustic soda make the water more conductive? Prove it with the help of an activity. Subnaran.
Yes, ma'am. Acids or alkalis make water more conductive because when they are added to water, they break into ionic forms, and they produce free mobile ions in the solution, which helps further in the conductivity of the water. To prove this, an experiment shall be made, which is the same as the continuity tester. A circuit should be taken which has two electrodes, the positive and the negative. It should be dipped in water, and drops of lemon juice, that is citric acid, should be added to the water, and a bulb should be attached in the circuit. When the circuit is completed, we will see that the bulb glows because the acid enhances the conductivity of the water.
But the question was that why do salts or acid cause conductivity, more water more
because
conductive?
when they are added to water, they break into free mobile ions.
That point, don't miss that point. That is more very important point. They just break the water into its ionic form, and that is why it becomes more conductive. Now, what are the electrolytes? Aditya Raj.
Yes, ma'am. Electrolyte is a molten or aqueous solution which allow electricity to pass through them by the decomposition of their ions.
How many types of electrolytes we have, Anupriya?
2 types.
And we have two types of electrolytes, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes.
Why this? What is there in this strong electrolyte which makes it strong?
Yes,
Vashvi.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. These are the strong electrolytes that get ionized completely to form free mobile ions in the solution. Hence, a very large number of free mobile ions form to conduct electricity.
The number of ions will be more, ionic form will be more, that will be more conductive, and it can just conduct the electricity much strongly. That is why it is known as strong electrolyte. Very good. Okay. Kavish, we just describe about strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte with few examples.
Yes, ma'am. Strong electrolytes. Strong electrolytes that ionize completely to form free mobile ions in the solution. Hence, a large number of free mobile ions are available in them to conduct electricity. For example, sodium chloride, pure sulfuric acid, and copper sulfate solution. Weak electrolytes. Electrolytes that ionize only partially to form free mobile ions in the solution. Hence, only a small number of free mobile ions are available in them to conduct electricity. For example, acetic acid, ammonium, hydroxide, and tap water.
Correct. Good. Ronit. Ronit.
Yes, ma'am.
Please describe about the structure of the Voltaic cell.
The Voltaic cell is a special arrangement which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. The Voltaic cell have two rods of zinc and copper, and they are electrodes. They are dipped in a solution of dilute sulfuric acid, and there are chemical reactions with them. These chemical reactions help us to get electrical energy from the chemical energy. When we connect a bulb or LED with these two rods, the bulb or LED lights up. This shows that this voltage.
Vansraj.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Yashvi,
Yes, ma'am.
you can you explain the chemical effect of current? Or describe, you can just describe an activity to prove that how this chemical effect take place by passing of electric current through an ionic solution.
An electric current passing through a liquid can result in chemical changes. This was proved by Michael Faraday, a well-known British experiment physicist, in 1837. Here,
Kishki,
an
mute your mic.
for material required a battery of 9 volts or 6 cells of 1.5 volts, 2 graphite pencils, a beaker, tap water, connecting wires, and tape. Sharpen both the ends of both the pencils. The beaker with tap water. Make a simple the wire and with the battery. It is important to make good contact with the graphite in the pencils, but we should not touch the pencil tip at the bottom of the beaker. And we have to set the wires with the tape, and we can use a piece of cardboard to hold the pencils in a vertical position, such that tips are fully submerged but are not touching the bottom. We are using the two pencils. They are called electrodes, as graphite is a good conductor of electricity, so it can perform the experiment well. And we have to wait for 3 to 4 minutes and observe the electrodes carefully. In the anode part, there is small gas bubbles are seen to be getting from near the electrodes. In the anode part, it is oxygen bubbles, whereas in the cathode part or negative terminal, there is liberation of hydrogen bubbles. Or
Next.
we can add some few drops of acids or salt to make water more conductive.
Yes. Then after that, Raghuveer Ranjan.
Yes, ma'am.
This question is, on what factors does the chemical reaction taking place in a solution depend on? On what factors does the chemical reaction taking place in a solution depend on? So many times I have told you to mark this point in this chapter. Abhijit.
Ma'am, can I?
Anurag, हाँ बोलिए.
Ma'am, can I? Nature of the electrodes and the nature and concentration of the solution.
Yes, these are very important points. Vansh, do you want to speak? Vansh Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you just tell me another question. What are the prominent effects of chemical reaction taking place at electrodes within the solution? What are the prominent effects? What happens after this? बोलिए. Direct
Metals
answer दिया
many.
हुआ है इसका.
Yes,
हाँ.
ma'am. Metals many gets deposit at a electrode surface. Changes of color of solutions many causes due to dissolutions of different ions.
Gaseous bubbles may be formed.
Gaseous bubbles many gets from near the electrodes.
ठीक है, very good. Next, Abhinav. All of you just now wake up. You have very less time. What are the applications for the chemical effect of current? What are the applications of chemical effects of current? What are the applications of the chemical effect of current? Aditya Kumar Reddy. Bhavna. Keshav. Narayani. Narayani. So children, just you don't be very much confident that you are going to have your exam online and you can do all sorts of different types of activities that can help you in the exam. Pragya Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
The applications are extraction of metal from ores, electrorefining of metals, electroplating or process or बस
Pranshu Ranjan. Pranshu. Sanidhya. Sanidhya Sanchit. Sudhanshu. Srijan.
Ma'am Kavish.
Shambhavi. You all are not even responding. Pallavi Sangam. Only 5-10 students have to study. Others will sit idle. Okay, chalo, Priyanshu Rajak. Please
Yes,
describe
ma'am.
about electrorefining of metal and electroplating.
In electrorefining of metals, metals are refined. The impure metals are refined, and pure metal is obtained through electrolysis process. And in electroplating, expensive metal is coated on less expensive metals.
By passage of electric
By the
current.
passage of electric current through electrolytes.
Next. What are the conditions that help in getting a smooth and firm deposit during electroplating? Aditya Raj.
Yes, ma'am. The condition required for smooth and firm depositing of metals are hollow and steady current should be passed, appropriate electrolytes should be taken, and the metal which to be electroplated should be made up of anode, and the metal from which electroplating has to be done should be made up of anode, sorry.
Okay, then आप लोग के पास एक ये सिल्वर स्पून वाला एक्सपेरिमेंट भी दिया हुआ है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This is also very important. So, is the question: how can steel spoon be plated with silver? Explain with the help of diagram. So diagram you will not draw just now, but you will tell. Who is interested? Shubh Narayan.
Yes, ma'am.
Kavish.
Yes, ma'am. The spoon is to be plated with silver. So the spoon should be made. The spoon electrode should be made the cathode, and the pure silver metal should be made the anode of the circuit. And a solution of silver nitrate should be taken in order to deposit silver from the anode to the cathode. The two electrodes should be dipped in the solution, and the current should be started, and then we would observe after some time that silver gets plated on the spoon. That is the negative electrode.
Okay. Now, what are the practical applications for electroplating? Kavish.
Yes, ma'am. To improve, alter their appearance, to provide a protective and strengthening coating, and to minimize the cost.
Explain about it. Give the explanation. Explain these points, Kavish.
Yes, ma'am. To improve, alter the appearance. Articles of base metals are often coated with the precious metals to make them look more attractive. This is appearance. To provide a protective and strengthening coating. Some coatings also help to increase the strength of the base materials. For example, we often find a chromium plating on taps, car bumpers, bicycle handles, towel rails, kitchen gas burners, wheel rims, and so on. To minimize the cost, objects and articles are made from a less expensive metal, and only a thin coating of the expensive metal is deposited over it. For example, artificially jewelry is often made by electroplating gold or silver on less expensive metals.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Hello.
Vaishvi Sagar,
Yes, ma'am.
you tell me, describe an experiment to show that we can get electrical energy by using a magnet.
Yes, ma'am. We have to take a hollow cylindrical pipe of iron and we have to wrap a large number of turn of copper wire on it. We have to clean the ends of the wire and attach a LED bulb to it. Now we have to take a strong bar magnet and move it rapidly towards the center of the pipe without touching it. We find that the bulb glows. However, it glows only for a while and stop glowing as soon as the magnet is stopped. Um, mm, if we withdraw the magnet away from the coil, we find that bulb is again glows up momentarily. Uh, Thus, we conclude that getting electricity through the motion of the magnet of a coil.
Okay. Now, give reason for the following, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am.
Solid sodium chloride does not conduct electricity while sodium chloride solution conducts.
Ma'am, this is because in solids there are no movement of free mobile ions, whereas in liquid the free mobile ions move to conduct electricity, and the movement of ions are necessary for the conduction of electricity.
Yashvi Rai.
Yes, ma'am.
It is not safe to carry out electrical repairs outdoors during a heavy downpour.
It is not advisable to carry electric. Ma'am, please repeat.
It is not safe to carry out electrical repairs outdoors during a heavy downpour.
It is not safe to carry out electrical repairs outdoor during a heavy downpour because water is a good conductor of electricity and it can cause electrical shocks, and even sometimes lightning also be attracted to the human.
Okay. Ronit,
Yes, ma'am.
you tell me, to carry out electrolysis of water, a few drops of sulfuric acid are added to the water. Give reason.
To increase the breaking of molecules into its ionic form.
Yes. Kitchen gas burners are often coated with chromium. Anupriya. Kitchen
Yes,
gas
ma'am.
burners. Kitchen gas burners are often coated with chromium. Give reason.
Yes, ma'am. To improve their appearance, to provide a strengthening coating, and to minimize the cost.
Yes. Anurag. What is electromagnetic induction? Anurag Anand.
Yes, ma'am. The phenomenon in which electric current can be generated by charging magnetic field is known as electromagnetic induction.
Charging or changing magnetic field? Changing magnetic field. Then Abhijit, are you there? Saksham Swaraj. Sudhanshu. Vanshraj.
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me what are the three uses of phenomenon of electrolysis? Three uses of phenomenon of electrolysis.
The flow of current stops to soon the magnets and the coils at of rest with respects to each other.
No, I am asking question is what are the three uses
Yes, ma'am.
of phenomenon of electrolysis? Means where it is applied. Application kahan hai?
Ma'am, may I, Vashti?
Can I?
Ma'am, may I, Anupriya?
Okay, Vashti, boliye.
Yes, ma'am. We extraction of metals from ores. Certain metals are extracted from their ores by the process of electrolysis. For example, metals like aluminum, sodium, potassium, etc. Electro refining of metals. It is the process of obtaining pure metal from the impure by the process of electrolysis. Electroplating, it is the process of depositing a thin layer of any desired metal on another metal by the passage of electric current is known as electroplating.
दीपेंद्र कुमार. दीपेंद्र.
मैम एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था.
यस मैम.
वैश्वी क्या क्वेश्चन है?
यस मैम. मैम जब हम लोग मतलब इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग करते हैं तो उसमें से जो एनोड वाला जो मेटल होता है वो दूसरे मेटल प्लेट पे जाके डिपॉजिट हो जाता है. तो मैम जो फर्स्ट एनोड पे क्या बचता है फिर?
तो आप उसी का एक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट ले रहे हो ना, उसी से उसी. हाँ, तो वो फिर उसका जो रिलीज हुआ वो मेटल वो फिर से कंपनसेट होते जाता उस इलेक्ट्रोलाइट से निकलकर. आप जैसे मान लो सिल्वर का कोटिंग कर रहे हो तो सिल्वर नाइट्रेट ले रहे हो ना.
यस मैम.
तो सिल्वर नाइट्रेट से सिल्वर निकल के फिर उसको क्या करेगा? कंपनसेट करेगा.
यस मैम.
हमेशा जो कोट हो रहा है वो आपको इलेक्ट्रोलाइट से कंपनसेट हो रहा है. ये नहीं कि वो एक पीरियड के बाद वो वैकेंट हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
एनोड को मेंटेन करना है ना, तो इसलिए वो रेगुलर वहां से आएगा इलेक्ट्रोलाइट से. जैसे किसी भी इलेक्ट्रोप्लेटिंग में आप देखते होंगे अगर एनोड का कॉपर है तो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट आपका कॉपर सल्फेट होगा या जो भी होगा, मतलब उससे रिलेटेड सॉल्ट होगा, जो सॉल्ट नहीं इलेक्ट्रोलाइट होगा सॉल्यूशन में. ठीक है?
यस मैम. यस मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
दीपेंद्र.
यस मैम.
Question was name the scientist who introduced the scientific world to Voltaic cell. You have to name the scientist.
मैम
Voltaic cell किसने दिया था?
मैम माइकल फ्राडे.
नहीं.
मैम
Alexandro Volta.
Alessandro Volta.
Alessandro Volta. Phenomenon of electrolysis.
Michael
Faraday.
Michael Faraday.
Yes. Phenomenon of electromagnetic induction.
Joseph
Michael
Henry
Faraday.
and Michael
Joseph
Faraday.
Henry and Michael Faraday.
Michael Faraday. So children, sometimes this type of question also, which is related to your scientist, also comes there. So you just get ready to learn all those things. Then after that,
मैम एक
name
डाउट
the
है
device. हाँ
एक डाउट है
हाँ बोलो काविज.
मैम पेज नंबर 293 में जो 4 पॉइंट है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इंडक्शन का, द फ्लो ऑफ करंट स्टॉप्स एज सून एज द मैग्नेट एंड द कॉइल आर एट रेस्ट with respect to each other.
हाँ तो क्या इसमें डाउट है बोलो. आप जब उसको रोटेट करोगे ना मैग्नेट को कॉइल के पास, और जब तक रोटेट करते रहोगे, जब तक उसको मोशन में रखोगे, तब तक उसका करंट फ्लो करेगा. क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इंडक्शन से क्या होता है, आपको करंट फ्लो जो होता है वो स्टेडी नहीं है, कंटिन्यूअस में नहीं रहेगा. जब तक आप उसको, जैसा कि यहाँ पर हम लोग जो बात कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इंडक्शन का, उसमें जब तक आप उसको रोटेट करते रहोगे, मोशन में रखोगे, तब तक करंट फ्लो करेगा, अदरवाइज इट विल स्टॉप. और कुछ तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो इसमें?
यस मैम समझ आ गया.
और जितना फास्ट रहेगा रोटेशन, करंट उतना ज्यादा फ्लो करेगा. अगर स्टॉप कर दोगे तो वो फिर आपका स्पीड स्लो होगा, तो करंट का ये भी कम हो जाएगा. ठीक है.
यस मैम.
हाँ इसी को एक बार कोई है बच्चा जल्दी से डिस्क्राइब कर दो. इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक ऑन व्हाट आर द ऑब्जर्वेशंस ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इंडक्शन. इस पॉइंट्स को एक बच्चा जल्दी क्लियर करो. कौन कर सकता है? शुभ नारायण बोलो.
Yes, ma'am. The observations electromagnetic induction are as follows. When magnet is brought near conductor coil, that is copper, when relative motion takes place between them, a current is induced in the coil. Second point, when there is no relative motion between the coil and the magnet, no current is induced. The speed of the relative motion between them determines the strength of the current flowing through the coil, and the direction of the current flowing in the coil is opposite when there is opposite relative motion.
Okay, very good. Now children, these all are the overall questions of this chapter. और कोई कहीं को हाँ एक आप लोग ये एक्सपेरिमेंट जरूर कर लेना. एक्टिविटी नंबर 5. हाउ कैन वी जस्ट show with the help of activity that the magnetic effect of current can be shown with the help of activity. ये आपका शायद क्वेश्चन भी है ना कहीं इसमें?
Yes.
So go through that activity. And next day, some of the questions I'll ask from here also, and chapter number 17 भी touch कर लो, because maybe आपका ये periodic test के लिए ये chapter दिया जाएगा, stars and solar system.